Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Triforce Tactics Podcast.
Oh snap! I'm too late. Also, that's put it
okay.
all over my leg. It's doomed.
We planned out to have a moment of silence for Warwick. We're still gonna have real quick. We'll talk in a second. Moment of silence while we sit. Kevin, you're supposed to sit. There you go.
Well,
among other things, we are going to be talking mostly about the patch today, which does involve our main man Warwick, and he is a little bit in the ground. So we'll get there. But regardless, I'm your host SpicyAppies, joined by my co-host Jirachy.
Hi, I'm RamKev.
And RamKev.
And I'm incompetent.
And my week's been pretty good. I started out the week with high ambition, right? I was like, I'm gonna hit rank 1, even I'm gonna hit 2.1 KLP because CSGO is 2 KLP. And then every game I play, I'm like, man, this isn't fun. So I decided to just have fun. And I've been playing some good shit today. I played Caitlyn reroll. What did I play? I played Warmogs MF3 the other day. It was just a lot of mercenary. I just have fun with TFT. And life's been pretty good. I'm recording a apartment tour with Miss Appies pretty soon here to put up on YouTube for the sub goal we met a while ago. So I'm just having a hoot and a holler. Hoot and a half? Hoot and a holler? One of those two. Anyways, how have you been, Kevin?
Boss champ?
I've been good. It's been up and down, you know. I had some good days of TFT in the past week, but also today was like a real stinker, you know. I snapped. I watched my Tryndamere 2 lose to an Ezreal 2, and I saw somebody in chat be, yeah, that's reasonable. And it was like my head exploded, man.
That's
exploded.
Chatting. Hardcore chatting.
Yeah, and all of my lobbies were purple today. I lost 200 LP. I was on Gigatilt, but you know, sometimes it does happen. Sometimes it really do be like that.
It do, unfortunately. How you been, Jirachy?
I feel like I say this every week, and this week it's true especially. I'm so tired. I moved on Saturday. So like, for the live and YouTube people, yeah, hi, welcome to the new setup. This is the new setup. It's very nice. I like the apartment. I love the area, but moving is draining. So I'm very tired. I'm still on. I am on a conquest to hit Challenger on OCE playing Talon only. So.
Are you still like over 20 out of 20 Talon? Like 22 out of 20 Talon?
I might just be down to 2020 now. But at one point, I don't remember if I mentioned this last week. I was 26 out of 20 Talon at one point. Just because I was like, fuck it. We're going to play the Talon Junior whenever I can. I am currently 22 out of 20 Talon. Not quite 26. It's fine. Hit Masters in 47 games on Talon. I'm on 76 now. I've gotten stuck right below Challenger because also Talon got a pretty big nerf.
Talon got a free ride in on the Warwick kill train.
No one was playing Talon in this fucking game except me. Why is Talon getting nerfed?
Mortdog took Warwick out back like Old Yeller, and then Talon was like walking by, and then like a stray bullet just hit Talon. Oops.
It wasn't even just Talon's walking by. It's like I'm walking by with Talon, and Mort just takes the bat to Talon, and just I get caught in the crossfire, and he's just like, "Oh well, it's fine."
Yeah, Talon was the only witness, and Mort wanted no witnesses.
Why is Synaptic still not nerfed. Why did Talon get nerfed before Synaptic?
Find out more at 9.
Oh my god.
But we are
yeah.
so we can just jump right into it because
It's hit a snap. The point is, like, the climb has hit a snag because of these fucking Talon nerfs. He's so hard to play right now. It's bad.
Yeah.
I'm committed.
Yeah,
I am full committed to this. I don't care how bad Talon gets. I am Talon only. But shit, it's
Godspeed.
Godspeed. Yeah.
So it is going to be a slightly shorter episode tonight. We got some things to do. So the main topic today,
things to do, aka I'm subbing on Fight Night tonight. So
sheesh.
I thought I was
definitely
done for
go watch
set 6.
that. Anyone?
Yeah, like I wrote the twit longer, like, oh, I'm done for set 6 for casting. I guess not. Whatever. I got one more.
We take those.
Yeah,
we take random gigs for sure.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to be talking a lot about... We can talk about the patch a bit as well, beyond just the B patch, but probably mostly about the B patch, because I think this B patch was bigger than a lot of patches have been, in terms of how much it shook everything up. Because, alright, I feel like if I were to paint a picture of this patch, right, it would be like Warwick in a dumpster, and Talon, it'd be like Warwick and Talon as rats, like in little twitches, like crawling out of a dumpster. And then Jin's like frolicking in a field of flowers while like Sivir, Draven, Irelia are just kind of like walking down the street, like, snapping their fingers like greasers almost. It'd be a pretty sick picture if I could draw it or could ever actually make something like that. Regardless, it's a lot of shakeups. So I'm actually looking at the list of things right now. We'll just go through the numbers first before we go into what changed feel wise, but. So the first thing that changed augment-wise, this is the only augment change in the B patch, it was that Smoke Bomb went from 80% damage reduction to 60% damage reduction, which, I mean, it's kind of just for Twitch and Talon, I guess, and like Kha'Zix, I guess. Don't think that was that necessary, but that will not be the only time we say that. And then champion wise, from 1 costs, Twitch went from 35 mana to 45 mana. I haven't played any Twitch, but I imagine he feels much worse now.
He's like still playable.
He's mostly about auto attacks anyways, I guess.
If you open for Twitch, it's probably pretty bad. Like really bad. You probably only want to play Twitch if you get the reroll augment and you just happen to get Twitch 3 before Krugs hits.
Yeah.
Which now that I phrase it like that, it does sound pretty bad.
Open forwarding in general just feels... I think that's why I'm struggling with Talon, is because I'm trying to open forward into him all the time. Otherwise, it's hard to hard force him, but yeah. Yeah,
it's really like my grandpa's deck has no bad cards. Exodia shit. Where if you draw all 5 parts of Twitch by the time Krugs rolls around, you just win the duel. And by win the duel, you go top 4, baby.
Exactly. Top 4, baby. It's lit.
Sheesh. Okay, so that was the only 1 cost nerf. In terms of 2 costs, Talon was... So he was apparently too strong. He was at 650 on live, and when he's supposed to be at 600. But instead of just bringing him down to 600, they brought him down to 575 at 2-star.
And they nerfed the 3-star.
And they nerfed the VIP bleed.
Yep, they made the duration down to 75% from 100% extra duration. I mean, who was playing Talon besides you?
Me! Just me!
I mean, I would see it. It's not every game. It's not like Warwick, where you have a Warwick player or 3 Warwick players every game.
Yeah. I feel like Talon got nerfed as hard as Warwick did. and
Talon was worse than Warwick to begin with, so the nerfs were about as hard to each. So Warwick went from S tier to C tier, and Talon went from A tier to D tier.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Warwick is F tier now.
Okay, Talon went from A tier to
big dumpster.
Yeah, literal dumpster fire tier. Why am I still playing him? I don't know. Whatever.
So the other 2 costs of nerf, and this is the only necessarily, I'm going to say in quotations, direct nerf. to Warwick is that his attack speed went from 0.8 to 0.75. Paw. He got nerfed. His base attack speed went down.
Yeah.
And then Lucian. Okay, Lucian's a little funny because I saw Lucian 3 pop off. I think it was someone was talking in chat. It might have been in Goobum's chat or something. But so Lucian got nerfed, right? He got -5 damage at 1 star, -15 damage at 2 star, and -5 damage at 3 star. And someone was just like, yeah, that extra 5 damage really made the difference, Bat Chest. 3 star.
I think I was there for that. For that shit.
That extra 5 damage really.
It's like the -5 AD over in
We're
League of
doing
Legends. Like,
something.
oh yeah, Lee Sin -5 AD. That'll fix it.
We did something.
Bat chest.
It's weird because I don't think Lucian 3 is necessarily like that broken or anything. Like it just feels weird to even touch the numbers. I feel like if you're gonna just take out 5 AD, because it's not even like 5 AD is like 5 AD is kind of a big deal, you know?
Oh yeah,
that's
because like a 1 star
base AD is huge. 5 spell power, kind of like what are you doing?
5 AD spell power is like it's like taking off like 1 AD at 1 star.
Oh, we nerfed it. Bat chest.
Yeah.
Sorry, bat.
Bat.
Oh, that's the new
God.
The new TFT push meta.
I was actually in call with like Soju and Ray and like
that's
Nico.
all they say.
That's all. Soju said bat like 5 times per minute. What's happening?
Wait, why do they?
I don't know.
Use Bat Chest like that?
I think like Sarah, like Soju's girlfriend, or I think they're still dating. Like just tweeted like all she hears now is just bat chest, bat. And I think Rodan was like, he's a Pokemon now. His name is Bat, and he just says bat
somebody
over and over.
Photoshop Soju's face onto a Zubat body.
So yes, do it.
Somebody get on that.
Yes.
Somebody get on that. Somebody get on that, and then tweet it. And then tag him and then tag me so that I can see it as well.
Mateo, please.
Yeah, that's Poggo. Or rather, sorry, not Poggo. Bat Chest.
Bat Chest?
So 3 cost wise is just Lucian. 4 cost wise, and on theme with the 5s, Draven got +5 AD. That's that's actually very significant compared to the 5 AP. Yeah. I mean, I think Draven felt bad. He still feels kind of bad right now. I don't know. I feel like he's like almost too slow. Like he's too single target for a lot of the fights right now because like a lot of stuff's super AoE. Now that Jin's really good. Like it's like Jins and Zeris and Kai. I haven't seen a lot of Kai'Sa recently. It might just be my games, but
Kai'Sa
Sivir as well. Yeah, there's just so much AoE, and then Draven just kills one thing at a time, which feels kind of bad. But I don't know. I'm sure he's still playable. He's just like
his board has always just benefited from the fact that you can have more than one carry.
Yeah, I agree.
Draven on his own is like a anti-pog. Yeah,
I agree. I feel like there's all like the now more than ever the like super like wet dream board of having an unkillable Leona with a Draven with like a Rage Blade in the back just scaling up and then 1v10ing after the Leona never dies. Like that is just super unrealistic now because even if you get there, Draven just fucking pops before Leona dies because there's just so much shit flying around.
Some person has a Zeri, some person has a Kai'Sa, somebody has blue buff Jin.
Yeah.
And it just kills a guy before he does anything.
Exactly. I played one game of Draven today to a second. It was a Merc game, and it was poor Challenger with naked Draven, Challenger Unity with a fully itemized Victor, and that was my carry.
Oh snap!
Wokage?
That was my carry, not the Draven.
Wokage.
It's all about that AOE.
Yeah, it's all like Victor's as well. Like Draven can't exist in a Victor meta very very easily, and Victor is like even Renata's kind of coming back. I feel like I've seen a decent amount of Renata recently, and to decent success.
The
which is weird because she got nerfed.
Renata's. It's interesting. I think that it's less so about Renata. It's definitely less so about Renata and all of the other stuff around Renata, probably.
Yeah. I think Bruisers also just do really well in a meta where like it's all AoE because your whole team obviously gets some health, right? So like your carry's not getting sniped out as easily and just feels pretty good in general. I would say.
And like you got Tom Kench, you got Vic. You're also you got Victor.
Oh yeah,
you also got
Slicko from Arcane. That's Bat Chest, the true Bat Chest. That's where you should use Bat Chest, not
every single sentence. They're like every single.
And then I'm gonna say Sivir's change first because I want to save the Jin change for last in terms of champion changes here. But Sivir, so Sivir went from 60 spell attack speed at 1 star to 50% at 50% 1 star, and then 70 from 80, and then 3-star Sivir still at 250. So she go down in power rank a little bit. She's still good for sure. I see Sivir do really well in general.
Yeah, Sivir is just like a balanced unit again.
Mm-hmm.
And you can. It's nice because you can still play her in Hextech even though it's not as good as pre-B patch. Or you can just play her in the classic like striker as you did last patch. She's still like pretty flexible with her board, which is nice.
Yeah, I think Alistar is Alistar makes 6 Hextech feel so good no matter what. Pretty much. That unit is just cracked. Should you have like a Silco too? Because not Silco 2, but like a Silco as well. Because then, Alistar's like 1 HP, gets Silco ult, and all of a sudden he just tanks for like another 6 seconds before he blows up. I've
been saying the whole set that Alistar is just insane. It's the skill cap is way higher because you have to actively position him, like actively micro his positioning to get like the good angle on the combo. So
I feel like at least
it's not just Scion with auto targeting. So you actually get the positioning right, and there's actually some cool positioning stuff you can do. It was a lot of like Vitex stuff, or like getting stuff. You can really get him into the backline. There's a lot of ways to get him to ult the entire team. But if you do that, then he's nuts, and honestly better than Scion ever was. It's just harder to get there.
I feel like with Alistar, at least it's from my experience, it's a lot easier to position Alistar to have an impactful ult than like Braum. Because sometimes with Braum positioning, oh my god, when you get that just dookie Braum ult across like 2 units on the front line, it's like, oh god. And sometimes it's like really hard to get like a good Braum ult, depending on how the positioning is.
Yeah, these units make... So, quick side note, everyone doesn't know, like, Frozen Heart Echo is super, super good in general right now. It's been good, but it has super high win rate, I'm pretty sure, and the stats behind it are amazing. Super unit.
The Frozen Heart stats are ridiculous.
But honestly, like a well-positioned Alistar feels a lot like a Frozen Heart Diana from set 5. Like, you put it in the right spot, and they just can't play the fucking game. It's so obnoxious. It's so obnoxious. Sometimes I miss that unit, and sometimes I just never want to see her again.
I miss that unit when I'm thinking of like actively playing her. When I think of playing into her, I want to kill myself.
Exactly.
Sorry.
I
can't say kill anymore.
Diana
I want to unalive myself.
3-star Diana was lit because it wasn't about CCing the team, it was about killing the backline.
One shot and everything.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Unless they had a trap claw, in which case you're down like 24 gold.
And you better have a Frozen Heart on that thing, otherwise she's doing nothing the whole fight. Yeah. Trap claw was super good. So the last 4-cost change, which is the biggest 4-cost change, is that our boy Jin got the buff he's been wanting all of set 6 and 6.5 that probably made him, maybe didn't make him too strong, but potentially
made him too strong. Oh, they overbuffed the shit out of him.
I feel like the 50 mana nerd they could have 60 would have been good. Like,
he says 50 mana instead of 70 now. So if you put a blue buff on this man, he casts at the start of a fight. And if you don't know what Jin does, he casts at the start of the fight. I mean, just watch any clip from this patch where a Jin kills someone else's backline, like most of their backline, in the first 5 seconds, the first 4 seconds ish. I guess 5 seconds is after 5 seconds he'll have unloaded his entire clip. He's like 0.9 attack speed, 4.5 seconds. He'll just, or wait, what is 9? No, 4 seconds. Wait, am I crazy? What is? Wait, no, because it's not. If he attacks
He'll
once
do-
every 0.9... Kevin, you're a resident math.
What?
Kevin, you're
No,
the
3.6
mathematician. Go.
seconds. 3.6 seconds. Probably.
Wait, but doesn't that make it sound like... No, it's 0.9 attacks per second.
Oh,
Yeah.
0.9 attacks per second?
Wait.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, because then it makes 0.9
I don't
attacks
even-
sound better than 1.0 attack speed if you say it's 3.6
Oh, so you're
seconds,
saying
right?
how much time would it take for Jin to do 4 attacks? If it's
Yeah, it's like a little bit
0.9?
over
4.44
seconds,
seconds. Yeah, 4.44
yeah,
seconds.
Yeah, it would be 4 point something.
Yeah. Anyways, he just unloads his clip in an entire enemy team, and they're dead in 4 point whatever seconds, and it feels crazy. Fucking crazy. He's so good. If you have Wolfone Jin, holy crap, you are top 4. More than likely.
Yeah, but I feel like the thing is, Jin kind of, especially without the when you can't play Scholar with Jin, I guess it's definitely like for the entire set of 6.5, he probably felt worse. But I feel like he hasn't felt that. Like I was really surprised when I saw that Jin buff.
Me
But
too.
then again, everybody just comes into my chat and is like, "Why does Jin suck so much?" And I'm like, "What are you guys talking about? What is this?"
Yeah, I think 4 to 6 sniper was already super good. I was playing it a lot before regionals actually. But I mean, I was surprised to see, because the thing is, I feel like a Jin buff, right? It's something to come with like a big patch, like a major patch. I think it's really weird to
Yeah,
see.
like a B patch is like
Yeah, because it's been a problem for so
right?
long, and then they just like shoved it into this B patch that. I mean, that's why this patch feels so huge. I think is because they literally made Jin into like a super crazy unit when he was already pretty good. Like he wasn't playable as much as like Draven and Irelia and Sivir were. Like he wasn't as flexible, I think, but in the right spots, like Jin was really good. So he's just like he's crazy splashable, crazy effective. I like a Jin 2 with no items, out DPSing my Zeri with 3 items the other day. He just would do things.
Yeah, he really do be like that.
I think everywhere I've seen has been like 20. If they just made it a 10 mana buff, like looked at that and then decided if he needed more, that would have been fucking perfect. But they decided to overbuff him, and now he feels way too good.
Yeah,
it's weird, right? Because there are all these little touches. I think the best comparison is they nerfed Lucian 3 by 5 base power on his ult. And they made like, Jin have 30% less mana.
It's like, Draven, you get 5 AD, baby. Jin, boom!
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Alright.
It makes blue feel pretty insane again.
I think blue has been, like, super good as an item.
Yeah, it definitely has been good. I think, like, in Arcanist comps and stuff, like, you prefer Shojin now in general, because you generally want to be carrying, like, a Malzahar and then eventually get a Victor if you can. But blue, I mean, obviously blue's really good on Ari, and if you played found Synaptic Web, I want to talk about Synaptic Web as well, because it was not nerfed at all in the V patch, even though it's still really good if you get a blue buff and a gunblade. And
again, why are they nerfing Talon and not Synaptic? Okay.
Oh, because if you have Synaptic in and you're playing units with mana, you want it to feel good.
Yeah, I want to feel good blowing up everything. I'm sadistic like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but the Synaptic obviously is missing, and it's big sad.
There actually are some trait changes though. Not mutants aren't in there, but the other half of the war nerfs in the trait changes. So the first one was that Arcanist got nerfed by about 10 AP at. Yeah, we actually had 10 AP at 6 for Arcanist and 6 Arcanist, and 8 Arcanist actually.
Yeah.
So they just brought it down. I mean, everyone was playing Arcanist,
which is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a ton of AP. It's not gonna like make or break the comp. I don't think. It just makes it a little bit healthier. There's actually 2 parts to this Warwick nerf. So the first one is that 4 Challenger and 6 Challenger got a 5% attack speed nerf and a 10% attack speed nerf respectively, and then Chemtech, this is the biggest one, went from 20% damage reduction to 15% damage reduction. And then last little ones, that Hextech got the shield nerfed and the damage nerfed a little bit, so it's more balanced as well. And those are all the changes, besides some bug fixes.
Yeah.
Yes, they brought Warwick down by bringing. They brought Warwick down by bringing
every
Chemtech
single
down.
trait and every single thing. Boom, boom, you are dead.
And it's like what they did was that they beat up to kill Warwick. Took Warwick's family out back, shot all of them, and then Warwick was just more sad as a result and performs more poorly. Right?
Yeah. He took Warwick out back, shot him just enough that Warwick didn't die right there. Got Warwick's family out, shot all of them. So they are dead, made Warwick sad, shot Warwick, just put a shotgun into Warwick's head, killed him, then put the shotgun back and pulled the trigger again.
Actually, wait, you know what it feels like? I think the actual app comparison is that it's like what happened was that he walked to Warwick. Last patch, he slapped him across the face. Big ass slap across the face. Then he brought his family out back and did, and then he walked to Warwick again and backhanded him. And then that was just it. Warwick. Because, he actually didn't touch Warwick that much. They didn't touch Warwick that much. They touched, all of his traits, all of his units, all of his smoke.
All of his everything. Which, honestly, the fact that Warwick is unplayable, I'm not losing any sleep over that because I hate Warwick as a carry. Not that I think Warwick is bad as a carry, I just hate the concept of Warwick as a carry,
The 1v10, wet dream board.
1v10, I don't have to position Warwick at all. I just put Warwick in second row, like a Beyblade, and, let him rip.
It was, in fact, one of the lowest skill reroll comps I think I've ever seen.
It doesn't matter where you put Warwick, as long as you have a QS and a Titans, and put him somewhere on your board, it's fine. He'll kill everything. He'll out-sustain everything.
I had a game in regionals where I played Warwick, and I rerolled Warwick from a spot where at the end of stage 3, I had one Warwick.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a second that game. You can just play. The Warwick 2 is the most stable shit. No matter what, Warwick 2 is just super good. So yeah.
And you see Warwick 2 out here, and then you see somebody fighting for their life with an Ash 2, right? It's well, okay, that's cool.
But Ash isn't supposed to be the 1v10 wet dream. She's supposed to be a sniper in the back.
True. It would be a real shame if the 1v10 carry also was better at the very start of the fight compared to your upgraded backline carry, Would be a real shame if you couldn't kill diddly squat. But yeah, Warwick got hit. If you look at, I'm looking at the meta TFT stats, but, Warwick is down there as, the lowest win rate to cost outside of Quinn, because obviously
Merc.
Quinn is Merc, so all of the Mercs are down there, and the bot, they all take up the worst performing units off of the fact that people die with Mercs. So they're guaranteed 8. But next to Warwick, actually performing even worse is Tryndamere. Right underneath your boy Warwick, because Tryndamere is actually, he's like the all of the Chemtech units are taking a big ass hit, by virtue of Warwick just being OP. Tryndamere gets shit on Twitch.
True.
A lot less playable,
Renata even with the bug fix last week as well. Where she
Renata
wasn't
did get worse.
Yeah, sad time to be a Chemtech enjoyer.
Yeah, real sad time.
Fuck that trait.
Friendship with Chemtech ended. Friendship with Deboner started.
Did your friendship with the Boner ever end? Have you not had a friendship with the Boner for the whole set?
I have. I mean, although right now I'm not liking Deboner much either, because I don't like Brand right now, and I don't like Draven right now.
Play Talon.
Yeah.
I don't like Talon either.
You know what it's just legendaries. Just play all the legendaries. Zeri's a Deboner unit. You can just play Zeri.
You know what my problem with Deboner is what I always do in this patch is I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play Draven, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this super sick Leona with like Warmogs, QSS, Bramble, and this like 3-item Draven with like Rage Blade, IEGS, and I'm just gonna have this fight where this Leona never fucking dies, and this Draven kills everything and ramps up and it destroys the whole board. And you know what happens? This fucking Jin 1 in the left hand corner, across from my Draven, he ults at the start of the fight with this blue buff. He kills my Draven in 4 autos. My Leona's the last thing left alive and does nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like, you know, a Zeri will do it if Jin doesn't, or a Victor will do it if Jin doesn't, or a Renata will do it if Jin doesn't.
Yeah, or a Nocturne will come in and just
Yeah.
or
he'll just die to Sivir. Yeah, he'll just die to like Nocturne and Sivir.
Y'all know how assassins have always been insane into Jin? I'm pretty sure assassins are not good into Jin anymore because like assassins don't one shot really anymore because Talon this set isn't just a raw one shot like, oh, I stab you twice and your carry is dead.
Oh yeah,
So,
no, Talon not as good.
Talon
Kha'Zix
is so much. Kha'Zix is good into him, but like Talon is so much worse because he gets in Jin's face. Jin ults immediately and just kills Talon before Talon can kill Jin.
Yeah,
and AOE baby.
Yeah,
AOE
so
baby.
like one of Jin's counters is actually now gone. I just realized why I've been struggling so much. It's because fucking like a naked Jin Shaggers. You can still do that into. You can still position the Talon into it, but like a stacked Jin, you can't. At good fucking luck.
Oh yeah, because blue buff Jin also, I assume if you have blue buff, he insta ults and then he probably aggroes on Talon.
Yeah, or like he doesn't aggro on Talon, but if Talon's in his face, then the Talon gets hit.
Oh, right, because he's not gonna aggro on Braum on like any frontline unit, right? Because he's not gonna.
He'll aggro on Leona usually.
That's
not the issue. It's just the alt shots hit Talon. That's the issue. Yeah.
This is actually something from last week that it was changed from last week, but I want to talk about it a little bit now because I feel like it's even more pertinent and like talking about Sins and their interaction with Jin and stuff. Is that I feel like Edge of Night right now is so fucking good.
Ooh,
that item is so good.
What an item! What an item! Oof.
It's a nasty.
It's crazy how one simple change that makes the item not completely useless makes it not completely useless.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, what happened last week was that Edge of Night went from being that like when you're in their Edge of Night proc, you can't you don't move, you just like you shut down like a robot, and then you wake back up a second later, and your autos are interrupted, your spell goes through, like Kai'Sa's spell will go through, but it's just super clunky. It felt really bad, and now Edge of Night is like I guess it's kind of like GA in that. No, nice. It's not really like GA. What it does is that when you go into like intangibility, you just keep going, you keep auto attacking, you keep doing whatever. So there's no like little blip. Huge. Yeah, it's humongous. It feels so much better. Which is why I think we're seeing a rise of Kai'Sa again as well, because Kai'Sa with Edge of Night feels fucking insane now. It feels so good compared to how she felt before. She just still gains mana, and it's actually almost better than GA.
I mean, it's great on Kai'Sa. It's great on any frontline carry. I think it's probably better than QSS, honestly.
The attack speed you get is really nice.
Especially on a unit like, GP, Jinx, Tryndamere, if you decide to do Tryndamere for some reason. Irelia. They're all schnasty.
Yep. Yeah, I think Edge of Night Jinx is so good. That unit uses Edge of Night better than anyone.
Oh, I feel like. Oh my god, Edge of Night Jinx is just disgusting.
More like Edging Night Jinx, am I right?
Oh.
Maybe not.
Okay.
So the meta shift we've seen with all these changes is that Warwick out with Warwick, in with Jin. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of Kai'Sa. This is just, I think people are starting to realize that Edge of Night's really good, and so they're playing stuff like Kai'Sa more often. Any other like big changes in comps that we're seeing? I feel like it's mostly the same, except Jin's now very popular.
Yeah, that's from all that I can remember. The chalice stacking is back on the menu. Soju is like 50% win.
Is that good?
This is on his stream title.
I think
He's also
so?
like GM now, isn't he?
Wait,
I don't
never
know.
mind. He's 800 LP. I take it all
Yeah,
back.
he's going
Ignore what I
he's
said.
going the exact opposite direction of where you want to be
Okay.
going. Yeah.
Jokes. We make funny jokes around here.
I'm pretty
You know,
sure
I had a
he was
game-
like on the GM cutoff.
I had a crazy game. I think I told Appies about this in chat, or maybe I didn't. It was it might have been somebody else. It was bio leeching with first aid kit and
Oh
five
yeah. Yeah, you told us
five
about this.
mutant, 5 enchanters.
How
It
did that
was-
work? What were the items?
Let me check. Cause basically I had Triforce, right? But I ended up moving all of my items onto Kaisa too. So she would, obviously she would heal the full every single fight because first aid plus 5 bio leeching means it's kind of bonkers.
Mhm.
I need to go back pretty. Holy crap! How do I play this many games?
What happens when you go on like the LP spiral and you get tilted and just keep slamming games?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Yeah, 5 enchanter, 5 mutant, 2 arcanist, 1 socialite. So I had a Lulu 3, a Senna 3, and a Kaisa 2, and a Morg 2. And that was my board, and a Kha'Zix thrown in there. And it was just
Wait. What's
beating
your
up
carry there?
everything. It was Kaisa, Rageblade, Decap, Morellos.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Wait. So. Okay, that sounds cool. That does sound sick.
But
I really
that's like
wish
a
it let
once
you
in a
overdo.
lifetime kind of game.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is a total tangent, but I was talking about how like you could buff bio leeching to keep up with other mutants in terms of like wanting to play like vertical bio leeching, and I thought that if you give it overhealing like Celestial, it could feel really good. Which I don't know how it feels. I think that'd be a good way to make it feel good. Like you don't waste your healing when you're 100% HP.
Yeah. I mean, the awkward part, I feel like, is just... it feels like right now, a lot of the mutant units makes it very difficult to play the trait as, like, a utility trait, right? And that's what bio leeching is. It's, like, the one utility trait for mutant. And, like, it's crazy, right? Because bio leeching used to be, like, one of the most desirable mutant traits. Back in set 6, right? Because you could fit that in on like the Urgot board. It'd be very nice. You could get like, what's his name? The dumb bug caterpillar guy.
Kog'Maw. The
Kog'Maw.
dumb bug caterpillar guy.
Yeah, Kog'Maw. You could get Kog'Maw in. You could get Kaisa plus Mundo, right? Like Mundo made it super nice to play like late game mutant, right? Because Mundo is just like a frontline sort of utility unit that you can just slot in if you want to, right? But I think part of because they didn't change anything about bio leeching, right? Bio leeching hasn't been touched in a very, very long time. It's just that you replace Mundo with a Rek'Sai and you replace Kog'Maw with a Kha'Zix, and all of a sudden it's just complete shit, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't fit it in as a utility trait anymore. It feels really awful to have to like play these like nobody wants to put a Rek'Sai on their board, right? Nobody wants to put a Rek'Sai on their board.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
apparently
it's just-
China does because they want to play Rek'Sai 3.
Wait, what?
Wait, China's playing Rek'Sai 3?
I
What does that
don't
even do?
I don't know. Is this thing? I've just seen random Rek'Sai 3s and I'm just like, huh?
Is it going first?
No.
Is it the secret text? Oh.
I never said it looked good. I said I've seen it.
See, the weird thing about Rek'Sai 3 is that, if you want to carry a 2-cost striker, right? You probably want to invest, you want to play at least 2 striker. You probably think, okay, Rek'Sai 3 6 striker sounds fucking broken or something, right? Like, bat chest. But then you realize that, the higher strike level you are, the less value striker actually becomes. So it's, almost counterintuitive to want a 3-star, like a Rek'Sai, while also playing, 4 to 6 striker.
Yeah.
It just gets awkward. It gets really
and
awkward.
Rek'Sai's ability feels so underwhelming, like before Rek'Sai had shred, stealing armor.
Yeah.
It wasn't it was stealing, right? It was Now it's just you bite and you heal, and then you bite again and you heal some more.
Yeah, if you go in for seconds, you
Pog.
get a little more healing. Pogo.
Yeah, Pogo.
T-Pogo even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested. There's also that someone mentioned in my chat today. There's this reroll Forest Scholar Cassidon thing being played around town. It looks kind of bad.
It was bound to. I mean, I think it's just you can play around Cassidon 3 as a unit. I think it's like because Cassidon is like a good guy, real beefy boy. So
Yeah. The only thing I
but
don't like about that is that I feel like this meta does not want like a big beefy unit that just stays in the front line and sticks there without doing a ton of damage. It wants like some shitter front line like a bunch of bruisers that just give your whole team a bunch of HP and then just sit there and don't die while your whole backline just AoEs everyone down. You sit there and like kind of die slowly, but you don't have to invest anything in them, right? Like, I feel like you don't want to invest a lot of items in the front line right now. So I'm curious to see how it would be. What else is being played? I feel like I haven't seen anyone playing Synaptic, but I also think I haven't seen a Synaptic game in like 20 games.
Oh yeah, no. I legit I lost to the Synaptic board and I opened
It was
up
like a mouse
the
board.
page. It was Mouse, Mutant Spat Ari, and a bunch of shitters. And I like opened up the match history because like it was so tilting, man. It was so tilting. It was like you run through that board and you look at how much it's worth compared to like the board that you're playing and you're losing to it and you're just like they didn't even have to roll for this shit. This isn't nothing here is 3-starred, right? It's not like that gold is getting used to like press the D key. It's just fucking this dumbass mutant spat. And it's like, holy shit. And then I counted up the worth of my gold, and I was able to hit their worth with like 2 whole upgraded units left over on the right side. And I was like, oh my god. How is this still in the game, dude?
I feel like it'd be so easy to just make it 1030 instead of 2040.
Yeah. I wish they would. It does like I feel like some of these things they just feel kind of at least the balance team feels a bit like stubborn about, you know. It's sort of the same thing we were talking about with like Shadow Blue Buff, right?
Yeah, and I get that. Like, they have a vision and they want to see it.
We have to fulfill the fantasy and the design.
And that's sort of the same reason why you don't see Mad Cow anymore, right? It's like
oh yeah, that was never the intention, so we can't have Mad Cow. Yeah.
It's like and Mute. I don't know what the intention behind Synaptic is supposed to be, but clearly they have this vision of it, and that vision involves Malzahar and Kha'Zix running over your entire team and killing everybody. I guess.
It's the same reason why they removed. It's the same reason why they removed 2-cost Vi, because they just couldn't accept that people were carrying her with a lot of success.
Exactly.
And Udyr. That's why they took Udyr out too.
Yeah, that's why they took Udyr out of the game. It's so sad, man. It's so sad. Clapio is no longer a thing.
Oh,
Rest
man.
his soul.
Clapio now scales with Galio now his HP scaling is actually the damage on his ult, not the CC on his ult, not the C duration. I didn't realize.
That's Warmog's dual gauntlet.
Yeah, I didn't realize it's like a week ago. I was still stacking Warmogs on. I'm like, oh yeah, this stun's gonna be fucking like 10 years long, gonna be the biggest Chad, and then this baby would be.
Yeah, it's baby wimpy knockup, but if you do Warmog's dual gauntlet,
just one shot the whole board.
Yeah. Or a triple Warmog, that also works.
Actually, I need to try that before the set's over. I have a couple things on my bucket list.
8 bodyguard triple Warmogs Galio.
Volkage?
I low-key feel like 8 bodyguard Kai'Sa 1 would still be better.
Over a Galio
3?
Okay, not over Galio 3. That's a little. That was cap. But
Galio 2 maybe. I can see that.
I'm honestly kind of surprised that 8 bodyguard is still as strong as it is, because it feels like the old design costs, like 3-star 4 costs, where like like Jin 3 would do like 16 trillion damage on his 4th shot, and then like 8 bodyguard just goes from 800 shield on 6 units to at 6 bodyguard to 2,000 shield on every unit on your fucking board, because they're all bodyguards at that point.
It's because it's like so hard to get it, right?
It is really hard to get it.
That's why. Unlike Synaptic, which you can just put 5 random shitters on your board, and you'd probably be just as strong. But we don't talk about.
I wonder how many people know that like recognize that if they're in a spot to go 8 bodyguard, they just win the game if they get 8 bodyguard.
It's probably very few. One thing that I've realized is that the majority of TFT players are not actually that creative.
At me next time, thanks. Thank you.
I feel like I've seen a lot of different sniper variations right now, but my favorite one by far is Bruiser Sniper. Any favorite sniper variations?
I've seen more Ashe actually, for some reason.
Yeah, she's not terrible.
I mean, I destroyed them playing Talon, but like I've seen Ashe, so I don't know. Maybe she's good.
Yeah, I guess still I feel like she's bad as like a mid game item holder, but if you commit to like carrying her, she can sometimes, especially with the proper augments, you can pop off.
I feel like Ashe is one of those boards where you can't stay on. Like, imagine Ranger reroll, Varus reroll from last set, right? I played a lot of Varus reroll last set, which is kind of similar to Ashe, like a 2-cost backline DPS unit. They both have a bow that makes them the same unit, obviously. But so Varus 2 is stable for all of mid game, right?
Yeah,
it was really good.
Varus 2, and you're jumping all the way up to level 8.
Yeah, and then Ashe 2 is really not that. So I feel like the best way to play Ashe reroll is almost to just like only play if you have like 4 or 5 Ashes with the beginning of stage 3, and then you just fucking send it. Like you go to 0 gold, hit your Ashe 3, and then you're stable all of mid game, and then you don't have to worry about losing a ton of HP playing around an Ashe 2 for one of your games slow rolling.
Because Ashe will get rolled by a lot of mid game comps if you're just like in there with an Ashe 2. Like, any type of Sin, goodbye. You got nothing. Any type of like, I mean, if there's an Irelia 1, it's kind of scary, even.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's still situations when you like get the good items, get a D-Blade, she can still like pop off in the late game as long as you've like 3-starred her,
Yeah, the big thing is the front line too. Like you need to hit the front line early. Like if you have an actually like a lot of upgraded front line, you're probably fine for the most part on stage 2. But I feel like sending it is actually like super good for if you play Ashe right now, because you just need so much. You need like a Morg 2. You need like you really want Ashe 3. You need if you find a Braum, Pogo, if not like upgraded Darius, upgraded like Leona potentially. You need so much to keep her in the fight. And then if you get those, like you're pretty strong. But if you just spend your whole game slow rolling and then miss everything, or like certainly slow rolling, you're low HP, you're like probably about as strong as a lot of late game boards at that point. And then you're just gonna die to like a bad matchup. So
yeah,
it's not like Warwick where you just hit and then all of a sudden you're Exodia, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Supreme Overlord, killing everyone.
Yeah, it's not like I hit Warwick too. It's time to pop off, baby. See y'all at 4-1 when you finally manage to scale your boards into my dumb dog.
And that's when they hit Warwick 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not one of those kind of things where like you hit and then you're good for the rest of the game. You need more, right? So you need like a Jin 2 and Ori 2, Braum 2, all these big upgrades. So I think different front lines. Like the thing is, the snipers that is so flexible with front lines. I was saying that, but I think Bruiser's my favorite front line for it right now, because like I just really like how good Vice is stalling fights, and you can play a lot of really good augments around Bruiser front line with Sniper, because you can, if you ever get Makeshift with 4 Bruiser, 4 Sniper, like you're fucking set. It's so good.
Oh, Makeshift on Bruisers is great.
It's so good, yeah. If you go Makeshift and you don't play Bruiser frontline or like Animator frontline or something, you're just trolling. I feel like.
I mean, I feel like Snipers definitely. Honestly, they feel better with either Bruisers or Innovators, I think.
I agree. Yeah, I've been
Also,
seeing a lot of people play Braum and like Morgana solo frontline and stuff, but it's just I think the problem with those front lines is that particularly the Morgana front lines that you have to commit items to Morgana, otherwise you're just kind of dead. Because she's gonna get like CC'd or knocked out frontliners die really quickly. But like the Bruiser front lines, you don't need to commit a single fucking item to Vi, Sejuani, Zach, Tom, whatever, and you're chilling.
Also, low key, you can fit in 4 sniper and not even feel bad because you can probably do like 4 bruiser, 4 sniper, and you'll like get enforcer with Caitlyn. You can play Zeri. Like your dead unit is a Caitlyn, and it's still giving you enforcer. So like,
and she's so good with 4 sniper.
Yeah,
she actually just one shots everything. With
she can just
sniper.
Caitlyn 1 can also just randomly one shot a backline.
Oh yeah, I mean she'll kill Draven.
Yeah,
100% of the time
for sure.
Yeah, 100% of the time.
Easy.
What you do
while Draven's stuck on your front line.
What you do is you just put like you put like Jin or like Jin MF on one side, like same side as like a Draven, and then you put the Caitlyn on the other side. They just kill the front line in front of the Draven, and then she gets a clear shot, and it's so free. It's actually so free.
Yep.
It's kind of like gross.
and the thing about like the Braum, it's like Braum has never been that tanky, right? And
no.
Jin, all Jin cares about is how long your front line survives. It has nothing to do with like getting CC and getting disruption. It's just like I want my front line to live as long as possible so that I can poop out my damage.
Yeah,
and I think that Braum is a little bit less tanky than it just like 4 fat bodies, or like a bear. Just more effective health, I feel like.
Yep, totally agree. And sometimes Vi is just super good at like on the Bruiser board. Sometimes Vi is just so good at tanking forever. Like she'll just like some matchups she just doesn't. I was playing Draven into a 6 Bruiser board, and my chosen Draven with like IE GS, I think it's like IE GS Hodge, could not kill this Vi 2 with Warmog and Bramble the entire fight. While this Renata or whatever they're playing was just killing my entire board. It was
yeah. I mean that matchup is awful.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Awful. If you don't have
like without a Zeri to pseudo like a Morello Zeri out there to clean up the rest of the stuff, it's just like
yeah, it's pretty nasty. We're gonna look for some questions here as we start to close up. Because again, this is gonna be a really short episode. We're gonna close up in just a few minutes here. So actually has to run to fight night. Any final thoughts about the patch here?
Buff Talon.
But yeah, buff Talon. I think it's
Warwick.
interesting
buff
how like
back.
the frequency of B patches is going up.
Not a fan. Well, honestly, they're necessary with how like out of whack balance has been, but like ideal world, we should not be having this many B patches. Like the meta is just the meta is going through so much whiplash.
It's like we had a C patch in the last patch. Granted, it was a longer patch, right? We had this B patch. It feels like there's been like a B patch every sort of patch, whereas normally like at least in like set 4 and prior, it was more so like you'd see B patch as like maybe at the start of the set when there's something that's like super out of line that people have figured out, right? But I guess
Shadow LeBlanc.
Shadow Blue Buff LeBlanc, Elderwood Rakan, right? Those were sort of like, oh yeah, this is a clear stain on the face of the game that we have to get removed immediately. But like I think we've been getting a lot of B patches, and it might be a result of maybe just augments, right? It adds just another layer of complexity to how difficult it is to balance the game. And that the thing is, like when you introduce all of these augments, it makes things like very, very difficult. But I think it would be nice to sort of reach a point where we don't have to see B patches anymore. Obviously, that's like asking a lot. But at the same time, I feel like seeing all of these B patches is kind of one. It's kind of like it shows that the balance is all out of whack, but also it's sort of difficult for like newer players, like casual players, to really follow all this stuff.
Exactly. Yeah,
but there's no good solution, right?
Yeah, no, because like you want the game to be balanced, but so it has to change a lot of the time. Particularly, you said augments and make it hard to balance. Very true. A lot of little interactions that aren't necessarily accounted for. on a week-to-week, bi-weekly patch basis. So patches come in to fix that, but then they also create new metas. And then all of a sudden, the player who's playing a couple games a week, or like once or twice a day, once or twice a night after work or something, just can't keep up. Which that's not great. And ideally, we get to a spot where that where it is a stable meta for a couple weeks at a time, and people can really feel adjusted. That's the goal. Hopefully, we'll get there. I think the only thing with this patch that was out of character was the Jhin buff, because it felt super out of left field. But everything else felt
like super meta changing, the Jhin buff.
It's weird for a B patch to change a meta that much, I feel like. But okay. I think we don't have any questions, and we do have to wrap up. So if that's everything about the patch, basically fuck Warwick. Jin's new best friend. Enjoy LP. Everyone play Jhin.
Yeah, and play Jinx. Jinx is super turbo busted all the time.
Yes, Jinx is good.
I'm pretty sure.
Jinx is good. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, watching, etc. Thank you so much to Jirachy and RamKev for being great co-host as always. And I think, actually make sure to follow and like and subscribe and everything on YouTube and platforms. And yada. Oh, there's a question from Cloud, actually. What do you think of the changes to augments for next patch? Wait, what are those?
They're basically like refining the rules for when you can get offered augments, I think, which I think they
all I'm
need
saying
to.
is I do not want to see Tiny Titans and Metabolic in the same fucking shop ever again.
That's a good change.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
No, it's just good. It's just good things. Like, because there's so many fucking augments, and because there's so many, like, there's not even that many, like, oh, this is the most high roll shit imaginable. Like, I mean, Double Trouble's really good. Like, Featherweights is really good for Talon. But it's not like, oh, you get offered that, like, you auto win the game. There's not that many. There's a few, but there's not that many. There's so many low roll augment shops, though. Yeah. And getting rid of those, I think, is going to be really beneficial. You cannot... Having some, like, low roll shops is fine, but for the most part, like, having it be... like more or less consistent the level of the augments you're getting offered, or like how you're getting presented these choices. So like, oh, you low rolled that, you got offered an econ augment, and then two kind of just okay but not great generic augments. Like, okay, cool, that's fine. It's when you get offered 3 econ augments that the game just becomes unplayable and you're fighting your way back. That feels way worse.
Yeah.
Then it feels way worse to be low rolling that hard than the equivalent how good it feels to be high rolling, just in my opinion.
And especially when they have, like, they've added so many more augments, it actually creates, like, a lot of overlap in terms of what they do, right? So I think that's one thing that, going from 6 to 6.5 they didn't take into account for, is the fact that, like, a lot of these augments kind of do similar things, and if one of them is useless to you, the other one is automatically also useless. So I think it's increased sort of the instances where you can just, get completely low roll your augment choices on a certain round, and you're just like, oh, unlucky. I got golden egg. Level up in high end shopping, and I'm 20 health.
Yeah.
See ya.
Those, I think that'll be a really good change. I think we're with third augment right now. It feels so bad to get a third augment that like completely goes against your, like, if you have like fucking rich get richer. Let's say you have to take like a tome, and then you get offered just something that totally doesn't line up with your board, or it just feels bad. I think third augment particularly feels really bad right now. So them cleaning that up will be really good. Less roll augments just makes the game better. Makes the game way better. All right. Well, on that note, we are gonna call it there. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, for listening, and stay tuned for next week. Pago. Until then, big kiss, homies, and bat chest. Bye-bye.
Bat.
I'm not saying it. I'm making a habit of not saying it.
Pago. T-Pago.
T-Pago.
Do it, Kevin.